I'm Michael Bain, and welcome to Triggered, coming to you this week from a snow-covered secret hidden bunker in the Rocky Mountains and Rocky Mountain Studios, and brought to you by Taurus USA. Today's show is all about this gun. This is an Avidity Arms PD10. That's right, this is the gun that wasn't there. But now it is going to distributors as we speak. The first production run of the Avidity PD10s will be going out probably late this week, early next week. They're being assembled in the factory in North Carolina. So that answers one question. Second question, what is this thing? Well, it is the brainchild of Rob Pincus, who, like him or not, has emerged as one of the most influential trainers in the country through the Personal Defense Network and the Personal Defense Network Tour, through my own show, The Best Defense, where Rob spent 5 years as a co-host, through his own intuitive defensive shooting program, through his intellectual property at the U.S. Concealed Carry Association. A decade ago, Rob began designing a gun in his head that, as an instructor, was the gun he always wanted to put in students' hands. 7 years ago, he got fairly serious at it. It turns out it's real hard to bring a gun to market, but he did, and I like it. Rob is my friend, set that aside. There's a lot about the PD10 to like. First off, let's look at this grip. This is one of the best grips I've ever seen on a small handgun. It fits a small hand well, it fits a big hand well. It's designed with this deep tang, deeply undercut trigger guard. You've got an excellent hold on the gun, which gives you excellent control on recoil. Trigger itself, it's a steel trigger. The safety tab is also steel. It's rounded, smooth. Thank you very much for that, Rob. The trigger pull, right at about 5 pounds. There's a little bit of that striker fired mush, but not very much. Reset, as you can see, is quick. It is an easy gun to shoot. It's an easy gun to shoot quickly. I have about 150, a little bit better rounds through it, including 147 grain 9mm match or 124 grain full metal jacket ball. I haven't found anything I dislike about it at all. Sights, this is an Ameriglow front sight. I like the green. Once again, thank you, Rob. And you'll notice that it's square as opposed to a round blob. You know why it's square? Because a sight picture actually is supposed to be square. You can't get a good sight picture off a round blob. The sights themselves, rear sights, are designed by Rob, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. Claw, you can see it's undercut slightly here. This is to allow you to run the gun off a belt, off a pocket, off a desk to be able to cock it. It does work. The magazines are essentially 1911 style 9mm magazines. If we go back to the very beginning of this gun, that was always one of the primary design considerations. Don't recreate the wheel. Find a magazine that is around, that makes a lot of sense. What you have here is a 10+1 gun. And when we come back, I'm going to do a little comparison for you. Welcome back to Triggered and the Avidity Arms PD10. This gun's going to come in like $599 MSRP or $625 already cut for an optic. It will come with 2 magazines. Just to show you how that will look, here you go. This is one of the new PD10 slides that has been cut for a small optics. This has the Crimson Trace on it, but you can go with the Holosun 407 507K. Any of the small SIG sights. Everybody makes a small sight these days. So another thing that will be available on the gun, and you can see it on this particular version, is a threaded barrel. So that's another option that will be available on the PD10. Magazine-wise, a couple of things that stand out to me. You'll notice on the grip there's a little cut in here. The reason there's a little cut on both sides is sometimes you have to snatch the magazine out. It happens. I haven't had shooting this gun, but in numerous classes, sooner or later you're going to be able to have to pull the magazine out. And if you've got gloves on, these two little indents here in the frame make it easy. Also, the specific PD10 base plate on the magazines designed to make it easy to rip the magazine out. It has a rail, of course. Another point that I like, two little points on the frame to show you. That's where your trigger finger goes. It's a little rough thing. So when, as an instructor, I say, I don't want you to put your trigger finger here because if you clench, it's going to make a really loud sound. I want you to put your trigger finger along the frame. We've talked about this a lot. There's where it goes. You can feel it. It's tactile. Second point you can see here, there's a little bit of a slide release fence here to keep you from bumping it up. I did succeed in bumping it up on the first two magazines, but once I changed my grip, what happened was I had it locked back with one round remaining in the magazine. And once I changed my grip, all that went away and we simply shot the gun, which shot extremely well. It's easy, it's controllable. I wanted to give you a quickie comparison. This is a G48. This is a PD10. PD10 weighs maybe 1/4 of an ounce more than the G48, but you can see they're similar sized guns. This is my own carry gun. This is a SIG 365 XL. So you can see a little bit of length there, obviously a little bit longer grip. Does it work? Does it work as a concealed carry gun? And you know, I think we're going to talk about that when Triggered comes back.
This week's Triggered is brought to you by Taurus USA. Always ready, always bring it. Stoger, everyday tough. SDS Imports, Thesis. Thesis means quality. Hunter's HD Gold. They change so you don't have to. And MTM Case Guard, quality shooting sports accessories.
Welcome back to Triggered in the PD10. Because Rob is an instructor and has handled a lot of guns over the last couple of decades, he knew that it was important to release not only a gun, but holsters for the gun. So there are 3 companies making holsters available right now for the gun. This one is from JM4 Tactical. Looks leatherish, but it is a Boltaran, I think, which is a type of polymer like Kydex frame. Sets in very well. In fact, I like it so much I think I'm going to buy one for one of my guns. And this particular one for carry is from G-Code. They've been making these holsters for roughly 1,000 years and they're very, very good at it. These holsters are ready right now, also from Tac Rig, which you've seen here before. So if you get this gun and you say, I want to carry it, you have a holster to carry it in right now. Now you're saying, well, little guns took over the market. It's too big. Well, I noticed an interesting thing about little guns. Little guns keep getting bigger. What started out as a 365 SIG, which was a market disrupting gun, you can get an XL version. This is an XL version. You can get a macro version. You can get a longer grip frame for it. The G48, one of the most popular guns ever made by Glock. G48 and the G43X, which is just a slider, shorter slide. Hugely popular. My theory, pretty simple. People are learning how to carry guns. When you start out as a concealed carry holder, the first thing you think about is, can I get it so small I can hide it in a pocket? And the answer is, you can, but that's not the most efficient gun. But you find out as you go through the concealed carry experience, you learn how to carry a gun. I think one of the great things about the PD10, something Rob and I have talked about for 7 years, it's thin. This is probably the thinnest gun on the market. Slide 1 inch width, thinner than a G48, thinner than almost anything else out there. The grip itself, 0.8, 0.9. So it makes it comfortable to carry. I only have this gun for a week, so I've already put 143 rounds through it, 147 rounds through it. I'm going to carry it mostly in the G-code holster. As soon as I have one available, I will buy it. We'll do more with it. I think it's a fascinating gun, and I have nothing but respect for an individual who can bring a gun to market. It's one of the hardest things to do in the world. Manufacturing is not easy. A lot of other things I want to talk about, and when we bring this gun back, talk a little bit about some of the other things we've done with it. I've got some really interesting points for you. I'm Michael Bain. This is Triggered. You can always find us for free on michaelbain.tv. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Rumble. Thanks to Taurus USA, and we will see you next week.